Hello and welcome to FF News' FinTech Spotlight. Now joining me here today is Ben Thomas from Mambu. Ben, how are you, right?
Doing well, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure having you on the show. And Ben, could you tell our viewers a bit more about yourself and your role at Mambu?
Absolutely, so I'm head of customer value, part of the commercial organisation, part of the leadership team of Mambu.
Absolutely amazing. Now, with that in mind, how is cloud native infrastructure really enabling a lot of the fintechs that you can see around us here at Money 2020 Europe to really scale and be the best organisation that they can be?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to pick up on two elements. So firstly, Mambu's architecture is API first, and that enables what we call the composable approach. That means that Mambu provides the core banking engine at the heart of the architecture, and we enable our clients to partner with the best of breed components for the upstream elements and the downstream elements within the architecture. And the beauty of that is that it means that our clients can build the bank that they want to build for their target customers. It enables them to bring the best innovation on the market, to provide the best experiences to our customers. And then most critically, we are pure SaaS, but we are also fully configurable. And that means that if a client wants to make a change, it is not an element of going into the code base and using time-consuming, expensive DevOps capability. It's actually just a reconfiguration, which means that they can adapt, they can change, they can respond to market movements much quicker.
See, now agility is so important. Now that fintech products, banking products can come out in a couple of months, how does this cloud native infrastructure enable that agility?
Again, the composable approach is absolutely the heart of it, being able to adapt and respond. The other point is that it's scalable at a pace that it previously wasn't. Both moving across countries, moving into new segments, launching new products. And actually, we've published a report this week called Turning Turbulence into Triumph. And what our research showed there is that with a composable cloud solution such as Mambu, when tough times come, as they do, that's been relentless for the last few years, when tough times come, we've observed that Mambu clients were able to respond nearly 2.5 times quicker, recover 2.5 times quicker than like-for-like organizations of a similar type and size in a similar geography. And that's really evidence of the value that this agility delivers to these organizations.
Ronnie, how are you? Okay?
I'm doing great.
Oh, absolutely amazing. Now, Ronnie, for our viewers who might not have heard, could you tell us a bit more about yourself and Publicis Sapient and your role there?
Yeah, happy to. So, Publicis Sapient is a digital business transformation consulting agency. And we really help organizations harness the power of everything happening in the digital space. Really, we take pride in solving the hard problems.
Well, it's brilliant to have that because so often as it's actually considered, oh, we'll move to digital, everything will be easy, and then suddenly you're confronted with far more problems than you ever thought you would do, especially when it comes to such a regulated industry as banking and finance. So could you tell our viewers a bit more about the partnership between yourselves and Mambu, please?
We've partnered with Mambu for quite a few years now. We really see the Generation 4 core banking software play as a huge one. Really launching this whole digital transformation for banks.
I always like to focus on the end customer. How does your partnership with Mambu ultimately help the consumer ultimately get access to better digital services?
Well, it's interesting because what's happened is core banking software used to be comprehensive, solving a large variety of functions, which was good. The downside is it could be slower to make change happen, so banks have a little bit less agility when all their eggs are in one basket, right?
Yeah.
And when you have providers like this doing one thing very well, then you can go off and get the best of everything, switch very quickly,
pick and choose,
and create a just differentiating experience, a better product overall.
Well, with that in mind, we're certainly seeing the organization change quite a lot when it comes, we're seeing the industry change quite a lot actually. We're seeing, as you mentioned, you'd plug into a core banking provider and you'd have to get an entire bank with it. Now you can kind of have this customizable approach. Where do you see partnerships and that ecosystem going in the future?
It's a good question. There's so much choice. So we're sitting here on a show floor.
Right.
With, hundreds of booths.
Certainly feels
many
like it.
Many fintechs.
Yeah.
So one of the things we really help our clients with is how to navigate that. So instead of picking one product now, banks have to choose products across 25 domains.
Yeah.
So which payment provider? How many payment providers? What about identity and verification? And if I'm in multiple regions, how do I manage all that? So we really are proud of how we've helped people navigate that space, picking the right partners. We choose partners very carefully. It's very curated, right? We choose the ones that we think are most suitable for our clients as well.
Could we actually find out a bit more about some of those key partnerships? Because Mambu is based on this ecosystem, empowering it. I'd love to find out a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And our partnerships are absolutely critical to the success that we deliver. And there's broadly three types. If I start from Mambu and build out. So firstly, Mambu being the core banking engine at the heart, we partner with our ecosystem partners to provide the different technical capabilities upstream and downstream. And we've got a really rich ecosystem to provide the best of breed capabilities in each of those areas, whether that be FinCrime or KYC or origination or customer engagement. So those are the first critical network of partners. And then the second is our cloud infrastructure providers. We work with all three of them, which means our clients have a full selection in terms of which cloud they want to be hosted on.
They don't
across
have to
all the
choose
geographies.
one?
No, absolutely not. So we offer full flexibility, and we work really closely with them to make sure that our clients are making a fully informed decision about both the benefits and the perceived risks of moving to cloud. And then thirdly, the systems integrators. We're under no false pretense that change is easy. And very, very often, actually, a core banking decision is probably the most critical or strategically critical decision a bank can make. And so we work really closely with the system integrators to make sure that we can lead our clients through this change journey in the best way possible. And we're really delighted with the relationships we've got there, actually.
Now, I'm going to then focus on the end consumer and look at how customer demands within finance are changing. How have they changed, and what does that mean for organizations like yourself?
I think we're at maybe the apex of one disruptive change, which is traditionally customers came to banks.
Right, yeah.
And with banking as a service, embedded finance finally really hitting the mainstream, there's a rising expectation that banking services come to customers, which means banks have to play much more vertically than they did before. So instead of offering generic, hey, here's bank accounts, right? You have to be very specific to perhaps a sector, perhaps a region, even a job to be done, right? Which is a whole other challenge. So we're certainly in the world of that. And then of course we have AI and generative AI, and we've all been talking about that quite a bit. It's yet to be seen what impact that will have, but we do know people are expecting it now within the experience, right? So we're in a point where banks will have to figure out how to industrialize this in that regulatory environment you described, where we don't know yet what this will mean, right? It feels similar to what happened with cloud in that, who's going to be first? How quickly can we take advantage? And then wait to see how that's going to change how customers perceive products, services, and experiences.
Absolutely amazing. It's an exciting future, so thank you so much, Ronnie. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely tremendous. Thank you so much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure getting your insights.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.